The Jefferson County Court of Law number 2 is now in session. The court is in session in 2 cases. First case is cause number M332329. Second case is cause number M332795. Both cases are style of State of Texas versus Christopher Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, is that your full name? Mr. Rodriguez, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Rodriguez, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rodriguez, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Rodriguez?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Rodriguez. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Charles Rojas. Attorney Rojas, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge, thank you.
Ms. Rojas, do you waive a record in Mr. Rodriguez's case?
We do.
State is represented in this case by Attorney Colby Hallpower. Attorney Hallpower, how are you doing?
Good, thank you, Brad.
Attorney Hallpower and Attorney Rojas, I have before me in cause number M332. Which one is that?
That's a UCW.
Okay, cause number M3323, Mr. Rojas. Okay. Cause number M332329. I have before me a motion to forfeit the weapon in this case. And Mr. Rodriguez, do you recognize this document? You can show it to him?
Yes, sir.
You recognize? And is this your signature on the line that is titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Hallpower, is this your signature on the line
That is
above the
fine.
line? Assistant Criminal District Attorney?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Rodriguez, before you signed and initial this document, well, before you signed this document, did your attorney, Mr. Rojas, go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in this document?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document, the motion to forfeit the weapon, true and correct to the best of your knowledge? And Mr. Rodriguez, are you asking the court to grant this motion to forfeit the weapon in this case to the Beaumont Police Department?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the court is going to grant the motion to forfeit the weapon to the Beaumont Police Department. The weapon in cause number M332329.
It's a weapon, 2 magazine, Judge, and all the ammunition as well.
Okay. You have the weapon, the Glock, and it's the serial number, and have a magazine and ammo. Is that correct?
2 magazines, gentlemen, and 40. We have 2 magazines.
Oh, it doesn't say that. It just said magazine.
Magazines that were just
Yeah,
plural.
Just put,
You want me to put
just
the two?
put the number 2. So nobody have be no confusion.
Well, what I said was 2 Glock magazines, like,
Okay.
so now it's 2 Glock, 2 magazines. Like, you see what I'm saying, Judge? When
Now
I,
it sounds like it's 2 guns.
now it sounds like what I put on there was 2 Glock because it's specific magazines for a Glock handgun. So
It does say 2 magazines.
I have
specific
2 Glock magazines.
Okay.
It already had that on there, like
Oh, okay.
forfeiture.
Oh, I didn't see that. I thought that the Glock was the weapon,
It is a weapon, Judge,
but you had 2
there's 2
magazines.
extra Glock magazines that are in there.
Okay,
You
I
see
see a
that?
Glock, and then I see
And then the serial number.
and then I see 2 Glock. Okay,
2 Glock.
2 Glock magazines.
Yeah,
okay. I thought that was part of the serial number.
no, yeah.
Okay. Now, and again, Mr. Rodriguez, you're asking the court to grant this motion to forfeit. And this court has signed the motion to forfeit, so this motion will be granted. And so the court is going to sign an order to that. The court has just signed the order forfeiting the weapons, the magazines to the Beaumont Police Department.
Now, part of that agreement, Judge, is that 2 cases. There was a possession of a controlled substance and a UCW. Part of our agreement was a JP reduction, which was already paid down in JP1. I've got the receipt. So we're dismissing both cases, one for JP1 and for
Okay,
forfeiture and the JP reduction.
okay. Let me see. We've got it on a tablet. Shut it off again. It's acting up. Now here, on this,
Yeah.
you just said, you just said the weapon was forfeited. You want to say the weapon, the ammo and magazines?
We can do that, yeah. I'll make it. No problem. Yeah.
First one. I just signed those two motions to dismiss. They should be printed off in about a minute. You can stand in front of our clerk. She'll give you the two dismissals. Once you get the dismissals, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And you have checked those already, Katrina? Okay, let me see. Okay. Love. All right. Jefferson County Court at Law number two is back in session. The court is in session and calls number 23 CCCR 0026, case of style of state of Texas versus Mark D. Love. Mr. Love, would you please come forward? Stand in front of the bench. Mr. Love, your full name is Mark D. Love?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Love, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Love, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Love, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Love?
Doing good today.
That's good. Now, Mr. Love, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendants?
Yes, sir.
Or these your initials on the line stating that you'd like to have this case reset to hire your own attorney?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Love, before you signed and initialed this document, did you read your document?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Love, I read your answers. Our court coordinator is going to reset your case. Once your case is reset by the court coordinator, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. You as well.
Thank you. Just please have a seat in that first chair by the wall. Yes, thank you. Here you go. Bless you. Next case is cause number M331508. Case of style of state of Texas versus Nathaniel Bowman. Oh, let me do this here. Okay, next case is cause, well, I have two cases. The cause number M333444 and cause number M333726. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Ronald Courtney Fountain Jr. Okay, Mr. Fountain, would you please come forward? So your full name is Ronald Courtney Fountain Jr. Mr. Fountain, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Fountain, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fountain, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Fountain? Mr. Fountain, I have before me a couple of documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line stating that you would like to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, this next document is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, he put his initials. You're gonna have to, well, it says defendant signature, you need to put your signature there. Yes, your signature, yeah, your full name. Okay, now, Ms. Fountain, on the line that's titled defendant signature, is this your signature?
Sure.
Now, Mr. Fountain, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Sure.
Did you understand what you read?
Sure.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Fountain, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Mark Faggett. Attorney Faggett is going to be given information on how to contact you. You will also be given information on how to contact him. Once you get that information from our court coordinator, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Now, Mr. Fountain, I also have some bond conditions that I need to give you. And I'm going to go over these bond conditions with you. Now, Mr. Fountain, the title of that document is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Code at Law Number 2. Do you see that title?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it reads as follows: following arrest and or accusation in County Code at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who, A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body, and that's pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.44, Section A2 and Section C2. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir. And
condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the victim. Do you understand that condition?
sir.
Now, condition number 4 does not apply because that condition only applies if you have a driving while intoxicated case, and you do not have a driving while intoxicated case. So we will go to condition number 5. You have 2 unlawfully carrying weapon cases, so condition number 5 applies. You said the defendant is prohibited from possessing a firearm or ammunition unless the defendant is a peace officer, as defined by Section 1.07 Penal Code, acting and actively engaged in employment as a sworn full-time paid employee of the state agency or political subdivision. Do you understand that condition? You don't understand this? It means you cannot possess possess a firearm or ammunition. Unless you are a peace officer. You know, unless you're a police officer, a peace officer in full-time employment. You understand that now? Okay. Now, do you understand all of these conditions that I've just went over? Now, that's true. So if you violate any one of the conditions, your bond can be revoked and a warrant can be issued for your arrest and you can be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that? All right. Now, our court coordinator is going to reset your case, give you the information on how to contact your attorney. Your attorney will be given information about how to contact you as well. She's going to give you that information. Please have a seat in that chair next to the wall. That's your copy. Okay. This is his, yeah. I think that's his, yeah. Is that his or did I? Okay, the court is back in session and calls number M331508. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Nathaniel Bauman. Mr. Bauman, would you come forward? Mr. Bauman, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Bauman, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down there, Mr. Bauman. I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes,
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
sir.
Or these your initials on the line stating you would like to apply for court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
I also have a document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Injuries. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant's Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Bauman, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
Is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Bauman, I've read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney David Grove. Attorney Grove will be given information about how to contact you. And you will also be given information about how to contact Mr. Grove. Our court coordinator is going to give you that information, but before she gives you that information, I need to give you some bond conditions. The document that you're being handed by the bailiff is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Do you see that title?
Yes, sir.
And I will go over this document with you, and it reads as follows. Following the return of a criminal information in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test for drugs and alcohol indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 3 does not apply. Condition number 4 does not apply, but condition number 5 does apply. Condition number 5 states that the defendant, which is you, is prohibited from possessing a firearm or ammunition unless defendant is a peace officer as defined by section 1.07 of the Penal Code, actively engaged in employment as a sworn full-time paid employee of the state agency or political subdivision. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
So that means you cannot possess firearm or ammunition. This is a unlawfully carrying a weapon case. And so, Mr. Bauman, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond will be revoked and a warrant will be issued for your arrest and you'll be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. All right.
Yes, sir.
Please have a seat, and when our court coordinator is ready for you, she's going to call you to the window. And once you finish following her instructions, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. And another thing, you need to pull your pants up, okay? Not come into court with your pants hanging down like that.
Good morning. That must be it.
Oh, yes. And this will, okay, we have those dismissals. He still didn't have, did you tell him about it? Does he have a, what?
Wait, they found it.
Wait, let me see, did you, if there were, did you send it to me?
It's not on, it's not there. He didn't do it in the program.
Is he in the journal?
Yes.